Hi guys, it's Ari. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having one amazing weekend, and hopefully your weekend will get a heck of a lot better after this video. I wanted to post a video. There were a few different topics I wanted to cover today. First and foremost, I always get a lot of questions regarding makeup. Everyone is always reaching out asking what kind of foundation I wear, how I do my eyeshadow, how I conceal unwanted hairs on the face that I would otherwise not want. And there's also been a lot of questions about my favorite eyelashes, favorite lip colors, and just a lot of makeup questions in general, among other things. So I thought it would be a great Sunday to start off by answering some more inconveniencing makeup tips, because as of recently I've gotten a lot of questions about how individuals typically conceal a beard for those that cannot afford to have it laser surgically removed, or removed by a laser. So I thought that this would be a good time to kind of talk about that. Just a little bit of background. I used to be a makeup artist, so I'm very versed into makeup. I've been doing makeup for a series of years, freelancing, doing weddings, and it's really been a huge passion of mine. So I encourage you to ask makeup tips, ask away. Usually I never leave the house without at least an eye, some lashes, a lip, good foundation base, and at least some blush, people. So I definitely know my stuff here. So anyway, backing up to concealing a beard, as you go through your transgender transition journey, of course, one of the things that you'll probably want to be conscious of and hopefully budget for is to have your unwanted hair, stemming from a beard, stemming from unwanted maybe chest hairs, different areas of your body that seem to amass more hair, that's an inconvenience, or you otherwise don't want to spend a lot of time shaving, typically tend to have laser hair removal, and it's not an uncommon thing. And a lot of people in today's day and age actually have it, and it's really, in my opinion, a great medical breakthrough for those people that just absolutely hate hair. It takes me back to a real life TV documentary I was watching about how there was this individual that had a huge phobia with hair, and was continuously and repetitiously in the doctor's office getting laser hair removal time and time again. And you talk about the money and the hours and the pain that were spent and undergone, it adds up fast. So anyway, I will say that I have not had anything done as far as laser hair removal quite yet. It is definitely among one of the top things that I would like to have done. If you reference my earlier videos, I kind of go over my top items that I would like to personally have changed, without changing me completely, because I think there is such a uniqueness to who we were born into and what we look like currently, that a lot of it needs to be preserved, because life isn't necessarily experienced by, or shouldn't be viewed by, the exterior of a person, but rather the interior. So I think it's really important. But anyway, you can go back and listen to me rant about that in previous videos. So I wanted to just kind of grab some makeup basics really quick. Um, they always say that you're supposed to go by the color chart according to your skin tone, and a lot of times a burnt orange or a coral um, concealer will cover hairs on the beard, or on the face, or any, really for that matter, unwanted area on the body. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but I am a huge MAC fanatic, having previously worked at MAC. So this is a dual studio concealer and duo pen. My color happens to be burnt coral, and then the other side is used for a good highlight or whatnot. So you'll definitely want to get skin matched, but I would definitely recommend going for the Studio Concealer and Correct Duo. This happens to be a liquid. I'm not really huge on liquid. I feel like liquid moves on my face quite a bit throughout the day, so I always try to avoid applying a liquid concealer. I usually find that more of the I don't know, gunkier, I like to say. I used to always call this gunk. More of the clayish type of concealers tend to work better on me. They tend to stay in place longer. They tend to prevent my skin from really absorbing all that excess oil. And liquids sometimes tend to dry my skin out. So I did have the burnt coral orange and a studio concealer palette as well. I'm pretty much empty, but you better believe I'll scrape every last inch out of this because this stuff is not cheap. I think their duo pen's about 30 bucks and this is probably about 40 bucks. But you do get a lot of good usage out of it. I like to contour and highlight, so you know, I can go a step up and contour down the nose, and you know, I'll kind of get into contouring a little bit later, as well as lip colors and eyelashes and eyeshadows and things of that nature down the road. But I really just wanted to cover on concealing a beard for those that are, or any facial hair, or any unwanted hair for that matter, for those that were self-conscious, just so you would kind of have an idea as you're going through this transition, because it's really a self-conscious feeling. There was a time just recently where I was using the restroom and I had went to work and it was 30 minutes. Thank God only 30 minutes went by, but I was noticing on the side that I had missed a patch when I was shaving in the morning, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I just whip out my dual pack here and I pack on the clay or the concealer, and you know, take some foundation and dab over it, and it works out great. So usually you do need to be pretty clean shaven, and my regimen for shaving in the morning, I literally shave my face every morning. I get up, I use a plug-in shaver that's electric, and then I take a shaver out of the shower and shaving cream, and I get all the excess beard hair that the electric shaver didn't otherwise pick up. And I just have found out that personally for my skin, which gets really crackly and dry in the winter, it's a little less harsh to have to use a full-blown sharp razor all over the face. So I use electric pretty much all over, and then I just simply take the orange concealer and dab all under and all up and around, and then I let it set for about 10 minutes. So again, you can use either the clay light concealer, a little, which is, you know, a little bit more coverage. I also am able to actually use my correct concealer that matches my skin for acne and things of that nature if I have a spontaneous breakout, things of that nature. So that's also a nice feature. So if you can afford it, I really do believe that the color corrector palette, it's Pro Conceal and Correct palette. This is a medium deep palette. And like I said, they have a series of different colors per your skin tone for more fair, darker skin, etc. I just kind of happen to fall in between. So anyway, I apply this right as I get out of the shower after I've moisturized my face, and moisturizing is key. It gives you that youthful, natural glow as you're going throughout the day, so make sure you're using a good moisturizer. I use Elizabeth Arden from Dillard's. It's a little bit pricier, but it's really the only thing that I found that actually nourishes my skin and doesn't provoke my breakouts. So that's a great, it's Elizabeth Arden, and I can't really, I think it's the Provage line, so if you are in the market for a good moisturizer, that's a great moisturizer. And then as far as foundation to conceal the orange concealer, I use Studio Fix Finish Fluid. This is NC25. Studio Fix from MAC is their heaviest covering foundation. You're going to get that ultimate coverage. So if you do have, you know, I like to say scarring or areas of the skin that you would like to be fully concealed without having to use a lot of heavy concealer, then definitely go with the Studio Fix. I can't say enough good things. This, when I worked at MAC, was the #1 selling foundation, and it continues to exceed any foundations. I've used many different foundations, from Clinique to Estee Lauder to drugstore foundations, and the durability and the lastability of MAC Studio Fix by far exceeds foundations. Now, again, this is going to be dependent on your skin type. I tend to have a little bit oilier of skin, so this is a great balance for my skin. MAC does carry different lines, so if you're not used to that full coverage, you don't like that full coverage look, but you still want something that will give something that people will notice, then there's definitely more options. So definitely check out their foundation, because no matter what line you choose, it ends up lasting the longest throughout the day. Studio Fix ends up, I was looking to see if it even says how long it lasts, but I go to sleep with it on sometimes, and knock on wood, you should never do that, especially if you don't want breakouts. But there have been times where I've fallen asleep with my foundation on, and I'll wake up and it's perfect the next morning. So that just speaks to the testament of how great MAC's foundation is, in my opinion. And I also use a powder matching. I use NC25 Studio Fix liquid and NC25 Studio Fix powder. I like to change out my powders dependent on winter, summer, fall, spring, the seasons. But I usually stay true to the one color tone in the liquid, which is really nice, because your liquid is going to cost you right at about $27 plus tax. So, you pay for what you get, essentially. And if you love makeup, then again, and you haven't tried MAC, you have to try it. So that was just a quick little trick about concealing unwanted facial hairs and unwanted hairs throughout the body. So take that trick, put it to heart, and hopefully you'll get some good use out of it. I really have to be honest and say that I haven't really experimented with any other concealers outside of MAC. Again, I work for MAC, so worked for MAC. I'm a huge MAC fan, and I truly believe in their product, and I honestly don't see myself straying away anytime soon. So I'm always open to trying new products, so leave tips and comments as to what you use, and hey, I'll definitely try it and give it an on-air shout out. So I look forward to hopefully seeing what you guys have to say about the feedback there. And then, really, guys, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just wanted to really give a quick little update. I didn't want to waste too much of your time on this Sunday. And there will be many more great videos to come here in the future. We'll get into some more makeup. We'll talk about other important, fun topics. So, hey, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope everyone has a great finish to your weekend. Bye, guys.